Hi, everybody. My name is Courtney. The topic I chose for my essay is anxiety. I chose anxiety because over the last several months, I've come to learn that I have been diagnosed with severe anxiety. After many long years of struggling with stomach issues that were essentially blown off as lactose intolerance, I was diagnosed with IBS, which is also known as irritable bowel syndrome. When medication after medication didn't work, we finally found a doctor to help us dig deeper into when I was having the most severe symptoms, like during my yoga final when I froze, but I know I was very confident in what I was presenting. I have an inability to concentrate or remember what I had just studied for hours, and uncontrollably panicking during really important situations. I came to find out that IBS or similar gastrointestinal issues and anxiety go hand in hand. Ultimately, we have determined that I have severe anxiety, which also causes IBS. So I've spent many months in doctor's offices, surgery rooms, labs, and pharmacies trying to learn more about anxiety. In every appointment that I've had, every paper that I write, and every person that I talk to that has anxiety or depression, I learn a little bit more about myself. In this paper, I learned that anxiety is a normal and often healthy human emotion that we all experience in different ways, which is why some people don't really understand that it can be a severe disorder based on how it affects you. We all know what it feels like to be anxious. We've all experienced that pounding in our chest when we're scared, or felt the butterflies when we're on our first date. And most people have even had that feeling when your hands get sweaty and your stomach gets upset when your parents are mad at you. The individual's experience of anxieties includes four parts. There's the physical symptoms, which is where you have the increased heart rate or sweaty palms. The psychological symptoms, where you have the troubles concentrating and remembering. Then there's the behavioral symptoms, which is where you try to avoid anxiety provoking situations. And the fourth one, which is emotional symptoms, is more of where you're constantly like worried or overwhelmed. Now, these seem like normal in our daily experiences, but they're far more extreme to persons that are diagnosed with an anxiety disorder. Anxiety disorders affect 40 million people in the United States, with onset being mid to late teens and more common in women. It's the most common mental illness in the country, yet most people don't know or even fully understand what anxiety is or what it does to a person. Therefore, they don't know how to help. So the main point of my paper was to help my readers become aware of the disorder and how they can help a person with anxiety, or even come to realize that they themselves may have anxiety. So I have learned a lot over the last few weeks while researching, and this has made me want to inform more people about the disorder and how to help. What a vast majority of people don't know is that their friends, aunts, uncles, even their kids can and do have anxiety. It doesn't always have to be diagnosed or treated, but it is good to know and understand ways to help reduce the fears of anxiety and to calm that person's mind. There are a few types of anxiety disorders, and they vary from symptoms or reactions in certain situations. Um, these include generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder, specific phobia disorders, social anxiety disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, which is also known as OCD, post traumatic stress disorder, which is known as PTSD, and there are a few more that branch off, but those are the main ones. So in one of the assignments, we had to interview people. So I had interviewed a family friend that has anxiety, and also interviewed her husband about her anxiety. Her husband's answers to some of my questions were very touching, and they proved how much one person's anxiety can affect the people around them. So I'm just going to read two of my questions and his answers. All right, so I asked, how does Angie's anxiety affect you? He said, I definitely need to be more aware of specific things that can trigger her anxiety and panic attacks, like money, health, my job stresses or worries, etc. Her anxiety curbs the way I react to stressful life events. I try to keep my emotions in check as stressful situations arise. If I overreact to a situation, it's likely to make things worse and may contribute to an anxiety attack. Sorry. I feel like I need to live my life with a bit of a filter on all the time. My second question was, what do you do to help her when she has an episode? He replied, I figured out that Angie has two types of anxiety attacks. One being environmentally triggered. Some examples being something happens with her mom's health, a sick pet, or she feels an overwhelming loss or lack of control in a situation. And number two, completely out of the blue with no trigger or warning. For the first type, I try to remain calm and remind her to take a deep breath. I try to coach her through some exercises to slow her mind down and not focus on the whirlwind in her head, but on one specific thing, something she has control over. Usually, it's to focus on one fact in the situation and try to find a positive action she can take. I remind her that we are a team and she is my star player and that I am her star player. And sometimes you need to count on your star players to make the big plays. It's a way to let her know that she's not alone in any situation. For the second type, when she's spiraling down, she always expresses a sense of abject failure and weakness. She feels like she is broken and unlikable and that I won't love her because she has a good life and panics for no reason. During these times, she is afraid to take her medication, which is part of the disorder. She feels like she should be able to control it. I have and continue to destigmatize the condition and help her dissociate the negative feelings during these attacks. We've worked on identifying the signs of inanimate attack and to just take the pill and move on with our day. If you want to know a little bit more about anxiety, go ahead and read my paper that I had posted. Thank you for listening.